Alrighty. We played a little preseason, and then we got out of that and simmed the rest of it. So we're going to get into this. Mr. Sailors, Tampa Bay will not take the NFC South. They will be third again, although they have a very good chance at a wild card. I think they are capable of competing for the wild card for sure. All right, it's week one. Let's do this. This is that big week one match. Green Bay at New Orleans. Let's see if there's gameplay. Is there a costume? There's costumes. Uniforms. There we go. I don't think I get to wear anything other than the white, but I can change pants up. No. Let's just keep it with the gold. I like that, though. Yeah, cool. There we go. We're good. Do the Pats have the highest overall rating in Madden 12 like they always do in every Madden? They might. I haven't looked at it. We'll look at that. We'll go through the ratings here in a bit, too. Free Madden Tip says, go Seahawks. Hate the Seahawks. Not a fan of the Saints, but I do like them, and they pissed me off when they lost to the Seahawks. Yeah, well, that's the key thing that no one really talks about in that playoff game is the Saints were down to their, like, 5th and 6th string running backs in that. Julius Jones was the Saints running back in that game. And on the defense side, they were also incredibly dinged and hurt. A lot of that comes from the fact that the Saints used a lot of their starters in that last regular season game because there was a chance that they could have the #1 seed, actually. If they would have won that last game, the Falcons would have lost their last game. The Saints would have been the #1 seed with a bye. So they went all out, didn't get it. That was their mistake. It's not excuses. It's context. You can't look at that game and say, oh, the Seahawks are definitely way better than the Saints because of that one game. No, you have to give it the context. Now, the Seahawks deserve that win. I'm not knocking the Seahawks for that win in the slightest. They should be proud of being able to say that they won that playoff game last year, and they deserve that. But you have to look at it in context. You can't say the Saints are going to suck this year because they lost to the Seahawks. The Saints will suck this year if they're using Julius Jones as their running back and rookies as their cornerback. That's the context. All right.
Playing on the road.
I'm going to receive. No, they're going to receive.
What does the traveling team have to do?
Well, Gus, there's no question that not only do you have to overcome a terrific football team, but you have to overcome one of the toughest environments in the National Football League.
It's a little bit about getting hot at the right time, AZ Mexican, and a little bit about being better. The core thing there is the Seahawks just wanted it more. They outplayed the Saints that day. You play that game 10 times, the Saints probably win it 9 times. But that was the one time, and you can't take anything away from Seattle for that. That was all them.
And he looks ready to get this game underway. Here's the kick, and the season is underway. He'll start at the 8-yard line. He gets to about the 27 and goes down.
Jets fans are the most annoying. I don't know. They're actually not nearly as annoying as Cowboys fans. I'm not entirely, just say it. Oh, well, Rex Ryan's a D-bag. He is. I'm sorry.
At the 27.
He absolutely is.
It's 1st and 10.
You don't get to run your mouth. I'm sorry, especially when you've accomplished nothing. The Jets had accomplished something. They have a little bit of something. They went to back-to-back AFC Championship games. But you lost on the doorstep of the Super Bowl 2 years in a row. Have some humility, sir. You were clearly good enough only to be somewhat quality, not the best. So until you prove that you're the best, you can't say a word. And I'm tired of how much talking he does.
And Chrissy is definitely primed to be a performer to watch in this one.
I mean, they have it all there to be, you know, playing for a Super Bowl and to win it all. They need to have some humility. You do. They're not good enough to be like the U from the NCAA in the 80s, where they just arrogantly crushed everyone. The Jets are not that good.
Still looking for an open man. Has a man short to his left. The referee threw the flag, but was it a late hit?
Oh, come on. Lame. Wicked Killer 987 says, who do you think love the best defense this year? Very good question. You know what? I'm going to go really outside of on a limb here and give you something I don't think you're expecting to hear.
First down, 10 to go.
The team that I think has a good chance of having a fantastic defense this year, the Detroit Lions. Now, the talent is there. No one would disagree with that. But if you look at the schedule they have, who they play, the Vikings are going to be in a down year. I think the Bears are generally not going to be a great offensive team. Cutler just is frazzled, I think. The Packers are phenomenal, and the Packers will get like 800 points every time they play. But other than that, I think the Lions have a good chance based on their schedule and their talent to be one of the best defenses, at least on paper.
They keep it on the ground with the tailback. The stop was made by Kawika Mitchell.
The Eagles D, hands down. What linebackers do they have? Free Madden tips. You name me a single worthwhile linebacker on that team. They are freaking soft. They're softer in the middle than an Oreo cookie with no cream.
Ball on the 47-yard line.
But yes, the Lions will be a contender finally. They are also going to be in the hunt for a wild card, I do believe. I think it's going to be the Lions, it's going to be the Giants and Cowboys, and it's going to be the Buccaneers. Those are the 4 or 5 teams that have a chance at the wild card this year. Unless one of them turns it around fully and actually goes for a division championship, in which case, whatever division they're in, that other favorite is going to be up for a wild card.
Sometimes people take the punter's job for granted, but all you have to do is
Butthead, you hit the nail on the head right there. Last year, the Madden curse hit Drew Brees through interceptions. That's exactly what it was. He had more interceptions than any year ever in his career, and a big reason for that, I believe, was the Madden curse.
Fakes the handoff. He's going up.
Nice.
Charles Woodson was there to bring him down.
What do I think of Oakland? I watched them last night, actually, because they played the Saints in a preseason game. I love their new coach. I think they've made a lot of steps in the right direction. I still think they need a quarterback. They've got 3 decent guys. They need someone good. And I think that the reliance on this sort of Al Davis speed.
With the give.
Go Ingram. Go Ingram. Go. Oh, Ingram almost had a touchdown on his first carry in the NFL. That would have been amazing.
They all start looking around and thinking, whose gap was that? Who gave up that big a hole?
The offense is now in prime position inside the 10 after the big run. Has a man to his right. It's almost picked off.
And as we look at the key offensive players, receiver Marcus Colston out of Hofstra.
What is up with CBS sports writer calling Sue a dirty player?
Receivers in the NFL.
Yeah, you're right,
I believe the best way to look at it, someone once said that Sue isn't necessarily a dirty player. He's just so physically beastly that whenever he hits somebody, it's going to look dirty.
Definitely primed to be a performance to watch in this one. Here's the tailback.
Boom. Mark Ingram getting on the board in his first game.
With his first NFL touchdown.
Mark Legree. Glitch much, Madden? His name is Ingram. That's absurd.
Hartley drills the PAT, and now it's a 7-point game. New Orleans up 7 points.
Not ignoring you, Sailors. Who is going to be the worst team? Who's going to get Andrew Luck? I think, you know, Carolina's going to have a really good chance at that this year. I think the Browns are taking a step back. I think they were on the cusp of being a good team for a while there, and I just don't think it ever came together. Honestly, if Bengals fans are lucky, they're going to be the worst team this year because they could use a guy like Luck big time. They've always thrived when they've had a dominant quarterback, and since Palmer hurt his leg, he hasn't been the Raiders are unlucky in the sense that they could also really use Luck, and he's, you know, a West Coast guy. He would be perfect for the team, and yet the Raiders are just good enough to not be in the mix for the #1 pick, unfortunately for them. Another team that is unlucky in that they're just slightly too good to not get him is Minnesota. I think Minnesota would adore to have a guy like Luck.
Brings up 2nd down and about 12 yards to go.
San Francisco could be in the running, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because they're not very good.
Grant takes a handoff. He lost yardage on the play.
You know, listen, I would never want to block a defensive lineman, so, you know, I've seen these guys. I know these guys. They're big.
Yes, I think it's quite clear, Mr. Sailors, that I'm not ignoring you. But if it makes you feel any better to feel like you are being ignored, I mean, I'm to each his own.
Goes through his progression.
Oh, come on. Sharper, really? Really? Really?
By Harper. 1st down and 10.
I love this. It's that little regular football camera angle. Awesome. All right, well, we're going to move on to the next quarter.